Here's Johnny.
Now, come on now, bring my boy in. Bring my boy in. Bring my boy in. Yeah. Bring my boy in. I was saying it's gonna bring you what's good with it. Yo, what's good, gang? Yo, it's your boy Johnny 254, and I'm here with my boy Double A. We're about to give you some cul-de-sac speaks action. Let's go. Yo, what's good with it, Double A?
What's up? How you doing?
Yo, I'm doing good, bro. How you feeling?
I'm doing good. I'm doing better.
Yeah, I know you say you've been feeling a little tired, but we still gonna get a little litty titty for you. I see you got the little cup ski. You got a little cup ski.
We tired though.
Yo, you already know, bro. But yo, like everybody, yo, let me know what the vibes is in the comment section below. Yo, make sure you put your opinions in there. Let us know what you think throughout the podcast itself. But yo, without further ado, my boy Double A got something to say.
Yo. What's up? We gonna start off this podcast by talking about something a little different. I'm gonna ask you a simple question, and I want you to answer it, Johnny. Let's see. Do you believe in ghosts and spirits?
In what type of way? What are we talking here?
Like, do you believe they exist? Like, that's the main question. That's
Just the entity itself. Just the entity
itself. Do you
itself.
believe they exist? And how much?
Yes, I
how much-
firmly do believe they exist wholeheartedly, especially from my life experiences, like themselves happening and stuff. Yes.
Okay.
So where we go?
You've had some experiences yourself?
Yeah. Like I had a couple life experiences that actually made me firmly actually believe in them. Like, like straight up.
Okay. You gonna elaborate a little?
So you want me to? Oh, it's that. All right, bet. Let's get it. So I got a couple of things, honestly. One time when I was like, I think about like 7 years old at my house, at my house skiing with my mom. But anyways, I was going down the basement stairs and I felt myself being basically pulled like down the stairs itself, if that makes sense. And when I was pulled at the bottom,
you were being like you fell down the stairs.
Yeah, I fell down the stairs, but it wasn't like a trip. It was like I got dragged down the stairs.
Wait. So did you trip though, or you just like?
No,
like,
I got like dragged. I fell forward, not slip. I fell forward. It was crazy. But anyways, I got dragged down the stairs, and when I fell at the bottom, I smacked the floor, and I looked at if you remember, there's like a dresser that's downstairs that we used to game on back in the day. You know what I mean? That was great.
That like little dresser,
Yeah, it was right there, straight ahead. But anyways, when I smacked the floor, the dresser bumped open. I was like, "Yo, what?" So I get up and I'm like, I'm not gonna have like 7. I'm like walking to the drawer and I pull it open. As I pull open the drawer, something scurries to the back, taking something. I don't know what it took from me, but it took something in the drawer and never gave it back. Like it ran to the back of the drawer and was gone. The drawer was gone. That was crazy. Like that joke was gone. And then also, like I had a lot of experiences, like I would say, like lucid dreaming or like at my grandmother's house, like where entities I feel like exist a lot because my grandmother had like a really old house, and I'm not gonna lie, her house was built in the early 1800s, so like a lot of people have lived there, a lot of people have been through there, and a lot of people have died there. So it was like I always felt a presence every time I like pulled up there or spent the night, and I usually slept in the living room. Like funny thing is, my grandma had a lot of plants, so that was crazy because I was in the living room, laying down, posted on the couch, chilling, and there's like 30, 40 plants in front of me. Your mind starts wandering when the night gets to coming. Your mind starts wandering, so you're looking at the shadows of the plants. You're like, "Yo, what is that? What is that?" And then I'm not gonna lie, one of them looked like it was like Michael Myers standing in like the distance, and every time I blinked, it would switch to a different plant that would be closer and closer until it was right in front of me until like 5 in the morning when I finally passed out. Like I was like pulled the blanket over me, and it felt like a presence was like standing, like literally over top of me while I was sleeping the entire time. It was wild, bro. Why? You say, like, imagine you like, all right, I need some sleep. I'm tripping, and you think you trip, and you pull the blanket up, and you just feel somebody right here, and you're so afraid to pull it down to confirm your like assumptions. You're so afraid to do it It's wild. But I was going to say, like, what I have a lot more, but I want to get into like what you have experienced in your life.
Well, I mean, so for me, the main one is I can't drive down Sugar Road by your house.
Not you guys right now.
With it being in between two cemeteries, and it's like I don't know, man. There's just this eerie feeling that I can't get past driving down it. I get this unsettling feeling my stomach don't sit right. So like
Yeah,
something don't sit right there with me, and that's not normal. It's
yeah.
not. It's not human either. I'll tell you that. That's not a human thing.
You said it's not
Um,
you anything.
Because it's like instantly gone as soon as I'm off the street. So if I turn off of it down to Eggert or back up on the Pine Ridge, like that shit don't bother me. I'm gone, dude. On that road though, never, never.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely yeah. Like I think growing up, my friends, like I had a best friend growing up in like first grade and like kindergarten and stuff like that. And me and him used to ride our bikes over there and stuff like that. We used to try to do stunts off the like mud mounds. And I'm not gonna cat. Every time we did a stunt or did something, we would hear like some noises in the back or something would go wrong. Like we would fall, like
Nope.
man's tail would pop after we just tightened it. Like it would be like the craziest shit. Like we were like, what the heck? How did that happen, bro? We just fixed your shit, or we, you know, you got a new bike, or you got this. We're like, we're over here as kids. We're not even noticing what's going on around us. You know, just chilling, still playing, and all this crazy stuff is going on, like right in front of us.
I can't, bro. That shit does not sit well with me. I don't fuck with them. I am exploring it. I get they exist, and if I have to figure out if like that's the only option I got, then yeah, we'll figure a way how to fight it. You know, get a
Yeah,
exorcist on the house, on whatever, get whatever is being possessed out there. You know, I won't. I don't fuck with it elsewhere. Like, oh, we out in the public and you feel a demonic presence.
yeah.
We out. Sorry, it's not my involvement. I don't need to be involved. Don't attach. Get the hell away from me, you know? Like, I ain't trying to fuck with it. You give it any bit of power, that shit's
As soon as you give it something, bro, it just takes all your control away, like
done.
immediately.
It's
And that's
done.
that's something I like stand by. Like as soon as you give it, you lose all the control yourself, and that's wild.
Nah, bro.
But
Cause for me, it's like, there's that different level of what, like, spirits, demons, and ghosts are, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like, I call it, they're different things. Like, whether you want to believe that or not, there's got to be a scale of what these entities are, whether you want to call them or something. I call them spirit, ghosts, and demons, you know?
'cause I think there are honestly, like you said, like the human soul, the human spirit. There's
Yeah.
like a ghost, and there's like a demon. Okay, there's like
like,
but there's
a
more like
spirit is
branches
still
within.
living, though. A
Yeah,
spirit is still living. So if
yeah,
you're still technically, like, if you're a spirit without a body, then you're a living, in like a living soul.
yeah.
Like, you just don't have
You just
a
don't have a
form yet.
physical form.
Yes, there's no physical form for you yet. That's where I'm at. Like, if you see a spirit, they're peaceful and they're very much like cognitive, or you can very much see what is being a functional thing. They're either they're like a soul without a body, basically.
Yeah, basically like a soul without a body. So my question for you is, like, throughout your lifetime, I'm going to say like early on growing up, were you always able to sense these energies and presences around you? Or do you feel like it's something you more developed when you grown up a little more to be an adult?
I don't even know I knew what they were when I was a kid. Yeah,
Because
I
honestly,
knew.
you said you felt a lot of energies, especially growing up. You felt a lot of things that were crazy experiences, like you said,
So,
but you didn't know
like,
how to explain them.
there's just a bunch of shit. Like, so you as a kid, you feel like different shit. Like, oh, you feel like you're always being watched. You know, like you go do a school, whatever. You're at home alone, and you always feel like you're being watched. You know, like half of that you can probably throw out the window. You just being a kid paranoid. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, like not like it's like and then it's gone. You know, like oh, after you never think about it again. The instances that you feel like you're being watched, where like you actually feel a presence, is like when you feel that like it's like a blanket. It's not just like oh, I feel like I'm being watched. You know, you feel a blanket presence almost, depending on whatever's in the house or whatever's in the area you're at. You know, it just depends on what it is because it might not be a blanket, but it could just be like you feel a big ass heavy
like a
uh
pull, like
yes.
a pull of your energy, like in a direction where you feel like a presence. Does that make sense too?
And if you're in tune as a kid, you don't know. Like now, like if you're in tune with your energy, and me as an adult, I'm a little bit more in tune with what my energy should be at or where it should be going in a straight line up and down.
Yeah.
If I know it's being drawn somewhere, then I know I'm either if it's not internally being drawn for me wasting energy and other options, then I know something outside of me is acting on it. That then it's either a person, there's nobody around, then what the hell is it? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's that's where you can distinguish it if you know how to look for what your energies are or how you feel what your energy feels like thrown off. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I feel like how you walk through a cold area. It's the same thing. Like, oh, everything's hot, 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 and it's still nothing changed except you moving 3 steps forward. That's it. And all of a
Yeah.
sudden, boom, it's just freezing cold and then back to hot. And that's that instance of your energy was dissipated and like you get it.
Yeah.
That's like in that instance, it's like oh, you see how they took your energy and oh, you're cold. Where'd it go? You're not normal no more. They took all that
So
normal
you
body heat that you had, and boom,
yeah.
now you're back. Like
So you're saying a lot of times you experience like people you hung out with, or like even the people you just been around, that when you hung out with them or anything like that, you felt a loss of your energy itself. Like you felt
so, like even when we used
not,
to hang out with our buddy house to sleep over at his house, like his grandma house is so like weird feeling
I
at night.
got you. I got you.
You know how many times we would like sleep or even just stay up and you feel a different like it's a different coaxing of the house. Like the house, it's almost like when you watch a Halloween movie and then the Friday the 13th happens or October 31st happens, and it's like I I, I don't I don't know what to explain it as, but as soon as
It's
like
real
you start
eerie.
to
It's real fucking
know
eerie.
yeah, as soon as you know what the fuck you're feeling, it's like or know like what it could be, it's like all right, how do you
Bro,
you can't explore it because it's like why would you? Because then you could be trapped in a whole
yeah,
almost like Ouija board effect, or you're trapped just trying to explore your inner thoughts, trying to figure out how to unlock your energies to get there.
yeah,
So it's like, where do you actually go about trying to fight these things? Like, that's where it's at. Like, when if priests that gave the exorcisms, they have to be very strong with themselves. Like, they can't waver with who they are, or it'll jump right to them. Like, they literally have to be, I'm
yeah,
going to get rid of this demon. You're gone. Get out of here. See you later. Bye bye. You know, like type shit.
yeah,
If they're not on that same energy the entire time,
yeah.
it's not gonna work.
I'm about to let you know we got a question coming in too.
What's the
Uh,
question?
the question is, if I could throw in a question for Richie Locks, can dogs see shit we can't? I've heard they can see ghosts. I'm gonna let
Wait,
you. I'm
what?
gonna let you answer up on that.
Wait, what is it? What is it?
Can dogs see shit that we can't?
Oh, yes, I 100% agree that animals and at least from my knowledge, animals like dogs and cats. I don't know about many other domestic animals that do, but I have seen like weird shit with like some birds when I go camping, and like there's just like it's it's not confirmed, but I know dogs and cats. I've seen a bunch of videos as well where they be like, I've seen this dude. He was like walking through the woods, and his dog just started looking into an open field and like growled. Took a stance, started to growl. He got out of there immediately. Never figured out what the fuck was in the field. I'd do the same shit, but I would trust the fuck out of my dog if I can't see something, bro. No, bro. They see in black and white. If I can't see what is there, they can. It's 100% different.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, there's been many points in my life where I've been around my dogs, especially like my back in the day dog, Little. If you remember Little,
Yes.
do you
I
actually
remember
remember Little?
a little bit, not
My-
much, not a lot, but I
you
do
remember? You
remember.
remember Peanut though? Peanut. Yeah. So Peanut also
Peanut,
had an experience
Peanut
with
was
me as
my
well.
dog.
But,
We used to sleep on the futon together. Me and Peanut. I love Peanut.
Yes, sir. You are. Now you be snuggling on a futon ski. Then I used to have that couch strip with the little pusher, the little couch.
Hmm I'm about to give me one of those chairs again. But continue.
Dying.
Someone mail me one of those chairs,
You
the
used to be
Parmesan
that
chair. For real,
though.
for real.
You used to be spread the fuck out. You used to be slow, dog.
Yeah. Someone send me one of them bitches. I love them chairs,
Yo,
bro. Yes.
yo, bro. That shit was lit. But we did used to have so many paranormal experiences of me and my boy Kevin. Not gonna cap. Me and Kevin, my boy Quan, we used to go in that one closet near my sister's closet, whatever. We used to go in that door and try to call for spirits. I'm not gonna cap, and she used to be knocking on the door and everything. We used to be freaking, yo. We was in the back, yo. We used to be like, yo, somebody in the room, and all you hear is, I was like,
Nope.
yo. Crazy, crazy as hell. But
Nope.
anyways, there's so many experiences like where that thing happened and my dogs were outside of it. You know what I mean? So I hear them going crazy. Like I hear Peanut, I hear like Little before she passed away, unfortunately. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I hear Little, and I hear them all going crazy near the door while me and Kevin are just in the in the shit, just hiding out. You know what I mean? At that point, it is a wild. It's like a wild experience. Like I've never felt like such a, I guess, a strong pull like that. Like there's so many different instances, but like something like that where like somebody else was involved, and I'm not gonna lie, we're just playing around beforehand. We're just kidding. We're kidding, and then it turned real. It turned real as hell. like,
Nope.
like we were playing with shit that we didn't even know was active around us. That's why I said it was like wild.
You can't play with that shit, bro.
See?
I would tell you, bro. I went to one convention where like people speak to the dead and they're mediums and like speak to the other side and shit. I went to one convention. I felt a weight on my shoulders that I cannot describe was the heaviest thing I've ever felt. And I've been in like lows and like it has never felt heavier being in that room than it has ever in my entire life. I don't know what it was. I don't know. And somebody can explain it to me if they want to, but like that shit never sat well with me. I had like it literally sat across my entire shoulders. Like I could feel something like very much,
Did you
very well
say that
sagging my
exactly too?
energy.
Especially what is that? Our boy house when we was in the basement. You said what I one friend Dan. He said something told you your hair or something.
Yes, bruh. No, bruh.
And
That
you said
shit.
you were dead serious. You said you were so dead serious.
There is not an instance in my mind that not something. There was no way in my mind that my hair got pulled by something that was not human. I'm not. You can't tell me otherwise. I'm 100% serious with you. You can't tell me otherwise.
You was like, hell no. You was not playing. You were like, it was pulled by something, not y'all. Something. You had to make
Because
sure everybody knew too.
the direction it was pulled in, how it was pulled, the amount it was pulled. There's like
you said you thought the. You like, no.
no, bro. So when we fell backwards, all that happened was after the couch like tipped over. Like all that happened was I felt all of my hair wasn't that long. Like it really was only like 2 inches
I don't know
long.
if it was
Like
this
yes,
right.
it was like 2 inches. Like it was like a decent medium cut. And then
Yeah.
so it's all literally still on my head or behind me. Like
You said you about to.
a piece of it, like enough, like you could just grab a little bit, like you're playing with my hair, just pulled back, like literally, like from the back of my head, pulled backwards. You would have had to reach above me if you were next to me. I would have had to feel your arm come over the top of me, you know? Like you'd have had to do one of these numbers over the top to grab that shit. After we just fallen backwards, all four of us, after we have just fallen back, tell me how that's possible. How do you perfectly grab my hair, pull it backwards, if all four of us just fell? That doesn't make any sense to me. You tell me. You please explain that to me. And it don't make no
Yeah.
sense. And none of us were like 6 foot tall at the time. We were all just reaching 5'8", 5'10". You can't tell me either one, no, any of us could have reached over that gap between the 2 feet between all of us after we fell and get pulled. No, bro. No. No.
You got up so fast when it happened too. You was like, you was tripping.
Because no, like you know how like oh sometimes you could think it's a cat. No, bro, it didn't feel like that. It felt like somebody had something on my hair and pulled it. Like it felt. No, bro. And you know how like as soon as like something that's not a part of like if it interacts with you, you feel all of its
Yeah.
like its whole body. Like you automatically know the whole outline of where it's standing. You know, like as soon as it touches you or you interact
You
with it,
felt it.
it's like you feel the whole thing. Yes. No, bro. It was
You felt
not a person. It was not a person. I don't want to hear it. It was not a person.
you got to. You was like, oh no.
Nope. It was not a person, bro. My mom's house is haunted. I don't want to hear it. I have proof that window they installed in the back in the room.
Yo, you remember all the
That
shit that
shit.
used to happen in that house, bro? The one door used to creep open and shit in the front.
Mhm.
You remember the coach used to fall and shit, bro? We used to be chilling, the coat would fall in the room. We used to be like, what the fuck was that noise?
I'd have all the dogs downstairs in the basement with me, and I would hear them run across the floor above me. I can literally then look out the door at the laundry room and see all the dogs. Dude, it's happened twice, and I didn't tell nobody, and nobody like, cause nobody's believed me. I literally had like would have. I
You
literally
run.
would
With
stand
your
there in the
own like,
laundry room and hear them like they were playing upstairs across the floor, but all the dogs were with me. Where? Like they ran, like they would run full speed, and they would do it. I heard it twice. It happened in two different instances, and both the times I had it sounded like two dogs each time, right? So the first time I had both dogs. Second time I had one of the dogs. So the second time it could have been the other dog, and I just misheard it. But no, bro, it sounded like two dogs both times. It's just it doesn't make sense to me. And then the window carving, it's a brand new window. My dad has to install it with both. You just include the panes that they come together,
yeah.
and then like so you have to install it, and then boom, so you install it right. inside the window, between the two windows that slide up and down when you lift it up, it's carved the name Mike in the window. So unless the dude who made the window carved their name into it, like after they made it, but I don't know why it would be right there where you would see it. You know, like that would ruin its quality if they seen it. You know, you would sign it like inside
So,
the
like, a whole
frame,
sign,
huh?
there's a whole signing on that shit and everything.
Nah, it's just like no, it's just carved Mike. That was it. Like so, it wasn't even a signature of like if the guy who built the window was like, I'm gonna carve my name like in dickhead. He would do like his initials or some shit. No, bro, it was literally carved Mike Mike in the window, in
That's
between the two
crazy.
windows. So like you have to take the window apart to get to there. To
There was too much effort to even make that even happen.
yeah. So like it either had to have been done when they bought the window, but it was a brand new window. So I don't know who's ruining if that gets caught. Who's ruining one window out of an entire batch of windows to potentially get fired? You know, like hey man,
You remember
things
it used to be in your basement? You used to hear some noises. You used to come upstairs with weapons and shit, bro, trying to swing around, bro. We used to be chilling, just playing 2K or something. You used to come upstairs like, what was that? You know what I mean? No, we used to hear a lot of, like, a ton of shit. We used to be chilling. Just chilling. We heard stuff in Washington, D.C. We heard stuff, like, everywhere we go, we've heard stuff together, like, similarly. And that's crazy.
Oh, DC was even crazier, bro. I'm not having it. DC fucked me. DC really did fuck me.
Dude, you saw that? You saw the tip change? Changed the tip and everything. That was crazy.
Nah, bro. I did not. But then like after that, the room felt as it did when we walked in, so it didn't feel any creepier or worse. So it's just like where like so then in that instance, that is that an entity? Like you're just here to fuck with people? Like are you demonic and you're just stuck here for the rest of your
Like,
days?
you don't even know what it really is.
Yep, fucking with people, you know? Because it just because I don't know how to classify it. There's a different classification. I call them this. That's how I call them that. You know, like it's just like how do you classify the different levels of what things are there? Like, oh, obviously we are the living world, which includes technically souls. So your soul is still living until it passes forth, which would be then dead in the
Yeah.
afterworld, whatever you want to believe, or dead, alive in the living world if it's stuck, you know, or
Yeah.
waiting to be reborn.
It was like, honestly, there's so much about that. Like, I did have another question in the back pocket for you that's, from, I'm just going to ask it. I'm just going to ask it, bro. It's a tangent off of what we were talking about, so I'm just going to ask it. You ready for the shit?
What's up?
So, since you've been able to feel this energy, like we've been talking about, like through and through, as a kid, whatever, now as an adult, now that you understand the energy, how has it impacted your life? That's what I'm questioning.
A bigger sense of what the world is in an instance. Like in layman's terms, that's literally all like. If that's where I have to stop, that's it.
Yeah.
A bigger sense of what the world is. It allows. It doesn't allow me to. It gives me the opportunity to actually like know where my actions need consequences. Is what I've learned along the way.
Well, that's with that.
So like learning the energy and learning how the world moves is definitely an option of like you're gonna learn what the hell consequences actually are. And it's not nonetheless like, oh, you stole a cookie and get smacked on the wrist. Nah. You
Yeah.
learn what the world energy is and learn how to actually know how to keep yours or keep focused on how to moving your like you happy, like you know what consequences then become. And yes, you know what consequences are, but like once you actually focus on what your energy is, consequences become not what you thought they were, but you feel them in an instance. So like it's just a whole big learning curve you gotta
You gotta
take on.
jump. You got like a hurdle.
Yep, yep.
So like, uh, there's a lot to it. Like how the energy impacted my life. You know what I mean? How like following it now has impacted me itself.
Hmm.
Because before, honestly, I did feel the pull of energy. I did feel a lot of tug in some direction, but I never like whether it was good or bad. I was like, nah, bro, I can get around this, or I can do it my own way, if that makes sense. And that always ended up with me taking the wrong path. So
But like,
not the wrong path, but
are you following that energy, or are you like, were you actually following the energy, or were
that's what I'm
you?
about to get to.
Okay, my bad. Continue.
So I was like looking at it, I could see the energy, but I didn't want to follow it because I was being stubborn, and I thought I'd do better for myself, if that makes sense. Until I truly, I guess, took it in when I started my meditation, when I started to actually feel the energy, feel the direction of which was pointing me in life. And yes, it applies to spirits. Yes, it applies to the entities around me as well. There's a lot that involves that, like spiritually, mentally, everything. But as I started to follow the like guides in front of me, my life has honestly been more blissful, more. Even though a lot of it's still been out of my control, I feel like I can still manage whatever, I guess, whatever discouragement or whatever thing tried to take me off my path. I guess I could fight back in my own way by facing it, head front instead of going around it, trying to get around it my own way. You know what I mean? Because sometimes there's a lot of things that in life that you're meant to see, that you're meant to go through, that you're meant to
You gotta
persevere
see
through
it.
in order to
You
build
gotta see
your
the
character.
dirt
You
to
got
see the sunshine.
You already know, bro. You already know. That's why I'm fucking with you, bro. You already know. Look at you. Hey, no,
You gotta see the dirt to see the sunshine, man.
I, I,
It's
I,
life.
I agree with that wholeheartedly, bro. You got to. You got to. You
It's
got
life.
to. And like, now that I've been following it, like truthfully, like I told you before I had it, before I wasn't. I was trying to make my own way, but now that I've been following it wholeheartedly and faithfully, yes, there's the bumps on the road. I'm not gonna cap. There's the bumps. There's always gonna be some bumps, but I'm meant to see whatever is put in front of me. I'm meant to take this route. I'm meant to take this. I'm meant to do this. I'm meant to make the impact or this, that, and the third, or do this, that, and the third, whatever. So I can't avoid it though. The more I avoid it, the more I steer away from the path I'm meant for, if that makes sense. So now I've been just absorbing it, just taking the route it's been given in front of me. So
Okay.
what about you? That's what I was gonna say. Like how have you progressed with the energy that you felt? And like
So for me,
mentally, physically, especially like kept your motivation.
I agree with you, but on a different perspective of the same path, I guess. So like I'm a big so you're saying like how you said oh like this is what I am meant to go through. You know what I'm saying? And, like it's your path. It's our like you're there. You're going through that path. I feel it as in I'm now choosing being able to choose what keeps my energy lifted. You know. So it's like I now can now know I'm meant to go through this, but I can choose how much of it is easy and hard now. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to like you don't yes, as a kid you're not supposed to, but you do struggle trying to figure yourself out and no one can really tell you who the hell you are or how the hell your energy moves, you know?
Yeah,
Like you and I now doing just for example doing push-ups. Push-ups ain't for everybody, and it's not the same workout scheme for everybody to just do push-ups every day. You know, like I feel better, you feel better, other people might feel better from just adding
they might be
20
like that.
push-ups
And shit.
right before their bed. You know, just do 20 push-ups and some stretches. You might literally feel better the rest of your day, and your energy increases. You know. Now you're on a different level when you go to wake up in the morning, and a higher, like, oh, you're happier, you're more energetic. Like those are just simple things, but like when you get down to it, it's like now, oh, do I wanna actually focus my energy on something that feels off and I can still get through, or something that like you now can feel the vibrations are supposed to lead you there. You know, it's like both these paths now. It's like which route. It's now like you're figuring out what game, which way to take in the
It's
game
like
to make
it's
it.
like you're following the energy, and you're also adjusting the route you want to take within the path that's
Yeah.
showing in front of you.
Yes. So it's not something less like, oh, you're built for this path. It's like you choose the path you're built for. And it's like, if you want an easy route, yeah, then don't follow your energy and follow your fears, you know? Like then that's not what you're doing. And like you always have the ability to give up. Like everybody does. That's always an option. Don't don't let anybody tell you. Like I hate this advice, but don't let anybody tell you that giving up's not an option. And sometimes it is the best option to give up. Like 100% honest with you. Sometimes giving up, you need to give up. But when you think about it, like you now have the choice to make those options, and not nonetheless like, oh, I have to go through this to figure out myself. No, now you know where yourself lies. It's like now you can increase your strengths and know like, oh, you need to increase. Oh, you're not a leader. You're gonna have to either be an assistant, be the best second in command you can be, or figure out how to become a leader in some aspect of what you're good at. You know,
Yep.
it's not like, oh, you're forced to sit here and be that same person. You know, it's like, nah, I enjoy doing this. I'd like to do this. If I can do this the rest of my life, fine, I'm gonna do that. But I'm not gonna sit here and allow my gut to tell me this side of my work don't feel right. When I enjoy it, it's just
Yeah.
not what I
Yeah.
want to do. You know, it's
Yeah.
just like, all right, I gotta find what actually moves my spirit forward, not makes it stand
Not,
still. You know.
not pull you backward, not take away from you, not not just deter your motivation, whatever. Oh, oh. I'll wait for you. I got you. Got you in a moment. I got you in the next break. But as we're saying, like I love how you brought in the fact that you can adjust your choice by choice and adjust like how much you let it impact your life. You know what I mean? Yes, some things that you're meant for, yes. But you're like, all right, how much of a sway is this going to be? Is this going to be a big dip? Or am I going to catch myself and keep going up a little bit? You know what I mean? That's where you try to catch yourself faster. So that way you don't got to go as such extreme lows, you know what I mean? Because you're more aware of it. You're more aware of what you can go through, more aware of like your mind's capabilities, more aware of how your mind reacts during certain situations, especially. You know what I mean? Especially through all the meditation you've been through and through all the hard work and all the challenges you faced in your life. You know what I mean? Like that's crazy. Like we all have all these experiences that built us to be who we are. And a lot of us, like you said, are meant for it, and a lot of people, like as you notice that you can battle it in more specific ways than you ever would have thought. Like, yes, you got to go through it, but yeah, I could go through it and have a bad experience, or I could go through it and come out a king. I come out a fucking monster. You know, I come out awesome off of that. Even if it was a bad experience, I could come out with some knowledge. I come out with anything to build myself up. That's like that's a whole different take on that. And I fuck with that. I really fuck with the way you brought that up. Like I really feel that on a heart to heart basis. Like
That's
really do.
all.
Like,
What you put forth is what you take out of it. Honest. That's where I'm at this point. And
yep.
it's not so much like, oh, I'm gonna put out a bunch of good energy all the time. I don't. And yes, do that. Like, don't keep putting out fucking bullshit. But no, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking more or less like in every situation you can learn something, which that in return, if you it's taking good out of the bad situation. Oh, you now know not to, for an extreme, light gasoline on fire. It blew up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
Yep.
like, oh, now the next time it's like, you're going to either find a safer option to light the gasoline on fire or not use gasoline. So, like, it's like, you learn something good out of this bad option. It's like, oh, trying to make a jet engine work. Oh, you blew up the first one because you put one wire differently. Now you change the
Yeah.
wire, it doesn't blow up, but it doesn't ignite. So now you have to find a different option for the wire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like it doesn't necessarily have to always be like, oh, I now put forth, I held the door for this lady. I'm gonna get good karma. Yeah, do that. That helps, but that goes along
It's
with like
supposed to
your luck.
be just like you said. It's supposed to be just natural for you. It's supposed to be natural
Yeah,
reality. Along the line,
the
you're not
like
supposed to just.
stuff that like you do in the outside world that's not within your person has to do with your luck and how your world falls in fate. So like, oh, you put more good energy forth, the your fate lines are going to be blessed with more good luck, more good
Yep.
energy, more good vibes, more higher frequencies. And
Mhm.
it's hard to see that and have people recognize like what actually happens when you do these good deeds. It's not like you doing good and good's gonna happen. Yes, that happens, but like if you think you holding this door for a bunch of fucking people is gonna be good deeds, no, bro.
It's
It it's like
go. It runs
listening.
much deep. It runs much deeper than that.
It's like listening to the maybe your cashier is a little talkative and they
Yeah.
just ranted at you while they're cashing you out. Just listen. Just say yes and no and don't like look disgusted. That's good karma. You know what I'm saying? Like yes, you're
Yeah.
pissed off. They over explain, but like take 2 seconds and zone out, but like just say like nod and basically smile and wave, boys. That's literally all you gotta do. And
Yeah. Straight up.
in the general situations that you don't want to be there, and show
Yeah.
it
Straight
general,
up.
just show it general appeasement if you really don't want to be there. And yes, some people are gonna be mad listening to this, but like everybody does it. There's situations where they don't want to be there and they just like zone out, but pleasantly still be there. You can do that. Don't show. It's just like don't consciously be like, oh, I could do that, and then it still be good. No, bro.
Yeah.
Just don't be an asshole at the end of the interaction you just had. Don't go home and tell your mom, yo, the cashier at fucking Walmart, she's a bitch. She told me how her
Yeah.
fucking girlfriend and this, that, and the third. It's
Yeah.
like, no, bro.
Because
If you want to
a
gossip,
lot of people be trying to take advantage of like a morality thought, whatever, and it's like, dude, just do that to be your whatever dude or female, whatever. Just do that to be a good
yeah,
person. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Just do that naturally, not try to increase your karma, because that's the best way to do it. Like out of your good kindness, out of your good heart. You know what I mean?